Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm just on my way to Spire's cartoon exhibition, and I'm passing down near the Makerere sports field, the one on the western side. If you have taken some time without coming to Makerere, please, the Makerere gate 2.0 is working, so they killed all the shortcuts that we would not sneak in, like pass, like this one going down to Nankulavye. Yeah, Nankulavye, but spelled Nakulavye. Probably that was to accommodate for our colonizers who could not manage our tough language. I remember my story teacher trying to tell me that Dr. Huntington might have been killed because of a simple problem in the language. Like, for example, the Luganda word the Luganda word is called Momote, which is release him. But if you say Momote, that is to kill him. And I'm like, goodness me, the linguistic gods of these people, what were they thinking? In a life and death situation, and you have a word where one can just pause a little bit and certain irreversible things begin happening. So, Dr. Spire is one of Uganda's most prolific cartoonists. I mean, there's so much to the man, and I wonder if I ever met him, I would ask him how much he balances those arts. He's a lecturer of philosophy. He writes commentaries in the papers. He's a cartoonist. He's an artist. Of course, we majorly know him about his cartoon works. And when he said he was doing an exhibition, I said I have to go and see, because there was a promise of seeing some of his work which we had never seen before. And here I am, going to see some and bringing some of it for you to see too. And finally, here we are at the Masterful School of Industrial and Fine Arts. I think I got it. That's a real mouthful. So I'm in the gallery. I saw from his ex status there were many people here yesterday, but today it looks kind of lonely, but it's a very learning experience, and you can see from the other side there his awards for his work that he has done for the cartoonist and the human rights defender, which has been given to him by in the US. There is the EU, and sometimes I don't know if it is nothing to be debated about, but the people who celebrate our human rights defenders are also part of those who fund our tormentors. Life is complex, but it is these complexities and contrasts that cartoonists really do a wonderful work on. And you can see mostly it's about politics, our way of life, and it is all on display. We can laugh amidst our tears, because if you've been in Uganda for some time, you know how life is. I wonder how those in power view him, because most of his cartoons are straight to the point. You look at it, it is funny, but it also speaks a bitter truth. And wow, I wonder if he reaches a point, he writes a cartoon down, then says, this one, I'm not going to put it there. Yeah, we do content for YouTube, but there are things you say sometimes and you're like, When you're doing the edits, believe me, you wipe it out and say, let this one go. I wonder if it ever happens to him. If you went through that phase and you're still alive, you know the headache and the hectic work that we went through. The young ones will never understand what we went through. I sometimes refer to the years as like we are in 2025 SC, 2025 after COVID, something of that sort. To tell you, even, you remember the COVID donations? There was no accountability whatsoever. None of it. Yep. You stand up for a cause, and believe me, if you want to raise chaos, try to say, please, can you give us accountability for the money we donated during the COVID pandemic? then you see how the battering will look like. Don't murder me in the comment section. Let me begin from the beginning. I'm here wondering if do I really need to explain this? Like this one. You can see this one about where the Electoral Commission is standing by the side and that famous bottle of yellow behind them, and the voter is surrounded by masked armed men, and in the background there are others being battered. You can see, I think that is a phone that has been thrown down, and probably it was an agent of an opposition party. And there we are. And we all know this happened in Kawempe, where a cop decided to lift a guy whom they had crushed his leg. And yeah, I think the whole world, the whole country united behind him and saying he really had showed a face that typically police should be doing, but they are doing the exact opposite. I mean, and there is a machete. Now when you know the issues of Ed Mutwe now, as you see him, I think it was the CDF who tweeted his photo that shaved off his beards and saying he had him under, is it basement or somewhere? Uganda, you look at this and this was another lady in the wetland where they came and destroyed, because like if you have seen the other cartoon of building in wetlands is illegal if you're poor. This was one of the lady who looked at as people were clearing her house that she had lived in for many, many years, and there was nothing she could do. Just stand there helpless. So there's this other work where there was some contribution for her to get her a new house. It reminds me of the movie of Jason Statham. I know you know it. Okay, it's called Beekeeper. We watch it just for the kicks and all that stuff. The kind of like the plot. Most of his plot lines are so many gaps, but we know the alpha male going out to punch out the bad guys. So one concept I liked about that movie was that instead of taking care of the old, these guys, if you also notice society, they want to milk them even more. Basically, in a typical Ugandan, if you are not part of the other side, you basically know the government is milking you. Let's not even talk about the old, but the old is the real face where any civilized society would take care of the old. We are in a situation where we don't care. Milk you out, we are doing it for your benefit, I guess. More about corruption here, and we have dear Lord, I thank you for my 80 years. I come with a repentant heart. And then God is replying, that is good, my son. Are you going to free political prisoners and deal with the thieves? And the famous, you remember the famous reply. We have here the former heads of state for Uganda from 1986. And goodness, I think I should just go. The drones. Who remembers the locust issues with that famous list that came out and was basically showing stones being procured to knock either the locusts out of the sky or something like that. And here one is telling the others, Uganda's procured pesticides for the locusts, and the other says, we are safe, they will steal the pesticide. This was when the massacre, the insane was delaying to come, and it was like an explanation, and they say, we God have accepted, they will never eat us again. But of course, and here we have our religious leaders, you know, them talking about examples, and we also have a Janan room, the yeah, the guy who stood up to Amin. Most religious leaders these days are typical of this, talking very big on other issues, but when you come about talking to them about, you know, holding the government accountable, they will speak in tongues. I want to talk about that one who is now famous because the other day was telling Ugandans to be calm, saying they are the ones who provoked the government or the security forces to behave the way they want. I mean, I was going to say special word for them, but we are laughing today and laughing through our pain. So, yeah, he deserves his flowers. If you have watched The People's President, the documentary on Bobby Wine during the elections, I watched it again. Okay, I'd watched the raw footage on Facebook. We followed that, you know, the election campaigns over Facebook. No one that is still blocked until now. My goodness, what's wrong with Uganda? Facebook is blocked until now, but you can go to YouTube, you can go to other media platforms. But the people who lost livelihoods because of the blocking of Facebook, I talk to people. If I don't, yeah, you should hear this. Now, the adverts on Facebook are targeted. You pay for them, and you're very sure it will reach the people it is supposed to reach because, well, Facebook does a lot of data mining of all your stuff. So, me, I would find it cheaper because you know the low prices. Have you ever tried to advertise on TV or on radio in Uganda and you hear the prices? Now here you can do your adverts of $20, $30, and you're very sure it is targeted to your target market. It is not like on TV where somebody who was there that particular hour and was watching saw your advert. Here, you know it will go to that person and blocked until now. We are going to another elections and we don't know what is going to happen. So, back to the people's president. I watched the documentary again because I'd watched the Facebook things that I've said, and PSTDs, the shorted people, violence affects all of us, whether you're watching. And I wonder how those who made it out feel. I wonder how the policemen and army men who rob citizens go home and they are proud of having served their country. Guys, well, let's continue. Here we have Kizza Besigye, and you see a vulture behind him. He's still in jail. And yeah, we all know this one. He has been denied bail, I don't know how many times. And here we have your typical Ugandan where, yeah, the society where two people standing on the opposite sides are all shouting one thing, and they are saying Museveni must go. Then the other one tells, why are you copying me? And then the next one is a fight, forgetting about the main cause. The yellow bird has always failed to swallow the red. Wow. No, but Mawa and the wheelbarrow being rolled gently as he sings to political cemetery. And this one we have our famous MOP who stood up to say, yeah, they stole money, but they shared it with you. So where is the problem? The head can speak for itself. By the way, this is the oldest and best known art school in East Africa. Yeah, in Market University, I've told you since the beginning. Today is the second day. Sadly, I could not make it here when they were launching it. Like the other thing, like for us, we usually appreciate when somebody is gone, yet you have time when you do come and look at what somebody has really spent time to do. And I know most of you enjoy his cartoons, and he has kept consistent at it, and you know his themes, and you can better tomorrow. One thing I like about him is so prolific. There is nothing like he will do one today. When things hit, there is one coming out today, and then honestly, I wonder how he balances all that stuff. But thanks for watching. If you have reached like this, why don't you consider liking the video, and you can also share it with a friend, because good things are for sharing. That's why I came out to shoot some of this stuff for you. I came late, so I could not bring you the man I was hoping. But I knew yesterday I would have gotten him, so my bad. He did this oil, sand and twigs, and is titled The Mayor. You can see our famous marabou stock. The marabou stock should be Kampala's official bird, a mascot or something of that sort. What do you people think?
Instead of independent, now we are dependent.
Okay.
Yeah, don't rob the chance of decoding the message.
And you can notice the curator of the place. I wanted to ask him about, the art, yeah, what is being displayed, and he said, let the world speak, because Spire's cartoons, you don't need to think a lot. It really simplifies a very complex subject. You look at it and you know what he's communicating. I think one that we particularly liked is, I know there's a lot, there is one we really liked, and it's about the Independence Monument. Down, independence is independence, and money, and up, the child was knocked out of position, and we have somebody else up there. Yeah, what else does one add to this? Let the world speak to you. And in all that, you are not supposed to complain, because they will tell you you are an enemy of progress. You don't like the country to succeed. And he has also recently launched a book on the additions to the ones that you know. So please, let's support our own. Of course, it would be a crime for me to bring you all that and not show you some art pieces from this wonderful place. Statues and sculptures and oh, fine. I mean, the wonderful thing with art is that you have to take time to understand what the artist meant. Yeah, much. Yeah, it is much easier to to understand cartoons. Not so. What do you people think? So, with all said and done, it must take balls, great courage, and creativity to do such a thing consistently over the years. I wonder the threats that he has to handle, because there are times when on X he would post of how they were tapping, or of course probably we know they are tapping into his communications. He had been labeled a foreign agent. But I mean, for you to be consistent and continue pouring out such works, you must commend the man. This is an inspiration for all, to stand for those you believe in. And I know being a voice for us, the common people, is hard. Let me commend you, Dr. Spire Sentongo. Even though it may not mean much, but you have my admiration for the sort of work that you've been doing. And may you live a long life. And may those who plot things against you end up falling into the same things. But for a moment, think about it. You do bad things and you don't want to be told that that is actually a bad thing. You want to actually terminate the one who tells you that that is a bad thing. Like basically you want to live in a world where your wishes and your desires are the priority over everybody else because you have power or you feel a certain sense of authority and power that you deserve more than everybody else. But how and where? Follow the medicine and you do what is necessary instead of fighting those who are basically helping you. And then before I forget, the exhibition has been pushed to 1 week from the 3 days. Don't sit at home comfortable saying I watched the video. Come out for yourself and you contemplate and look at this exhibition with your own eyes and you think about it, especially the big people. Get out of those fancy cars and those big houses, and there's a lot of stuff happening down here that you may not know of. It really opens your eyes. Guys, thank you for watching my content. I promise to be bringing you more. Like, share, and subscribe.